Hello and welcome to Voice of Rio Grande. I'm Dr. Donna Mitchell, Dean of the College of Professional and Technical Studies. About forgot where I go. And I'm here with my co-host, Dr. Heather Duda, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
I'm feeling a little lightheaded today.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're looking great.
Well, thanks. I don't know. I just don't seem myself today. Just something seems a little off.
Really?
I don't know. It's probably just me. You know, it is middle of the semester and it's gotten a little chilly out.
I was going to say the weather change always kind of makes me feel a little bit like my head's floating, but I haven't really noticed it too bad this week.
Good. Well, I thought maybe it was sinuses or something, but well, it's good to be here with you on another show, and we have some guests here today. We're going to have a cowboy and some other mystery guests, so I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to also hear about some exciting things that happen at our academic centers on Halloween.
Yeah, and speaking of Halloween, you know, I study the Gothic, especially in pop culture, and I thought since this is our October episode that I'd bring in a few trivia questions, test your Halloween knowledge.
Well, I'm sure my Halloween knowledge is zero.
Well, that's okay, because I bet some of these that, well, quite frankly, one of them I didn't know before I looked it up. So
I don't feel so bad.
It'll be new. So, according to anthropologists, Halloween has been around for about 6,000 years. What tribe is attributed as starting the Halloween celebration? Any ideas, Donna?
No, I don't.
It's actually the Celts. The Celtic people of northern France and Ireland, and they were a farming group, and like many people of their day, very superstitious, and they felt that winter was a time of death. So in the transition between fall and winter, they would often leave out food and drink outside their homes to appease the spirits, to make it a less problematic winter.
So that's why we do trick-or-treat.
Sort of. Let's take a look at the next question.
Okay.
So what is the origin of trick-or-treating? As you already made the connection, there was, though, food and the drink left out. And we're not really sure when it happened, but at some point the belief is that the Celtic people started dressing up as the spirits and taking the offerings in place of the spirits as a representational act. By the 15th century, there were some Christian groups that were doing it. They called it souling, S-O-U-L-I-N-G, and people dressed up and they went and asked for soul cakes, and they dressed up as representations of the dead, or they would ask for the cakes so that they would pray for the loved ones who had departed. The first known instance of trick-or-treating as we know it today was actually written down in Scotland in 1895. And in North America and Canada in 1911. And sometimes it's called guising. And there's actually a reference to it in Two Gentlemen of Verona, played by Shakespeare.
Well, I didn't know that. And now it's actually morphed into trunk or treat in some cases as well.
It is indeed, which is a great opportunity for communities to join together.
Right. I know several of the communities in our area are having trunk or treat.
Yes.
And they've actually thought about some interesting twists to that too.
Well, and speaking of trunk or treat, do you know in what decade candy corn was invented? This is my favorite candy, so I had to throw it in there.
No, I don't.
Believe it or not, it was invented in the 1880s by a Philadelphia candy company. And they actually marketed with a rooster on its box, and they marketed it as candy corn because it looked like chicken feed. It was not associated with fall or Halloween at the time. That actually came about after World War II when some very smart advertisers said, hey, this looks like a fall candy, let's associate it with fall and Halloween. And now, you know, candy corn happens once a year. And I do have to say, you can usually find candy corn at my house all year round, like Peeps.
It's delicious if you mix it with peanuts.
I have never done that. I'll have to give that a try.
It tastes like, and I won't say the brand, but a real popular candy bar.
I'll have to check that out.
I was introduced by that, to that by one of my colleagues, and she brings it every year about this time.
Well, I happen to have both of those ingredients in my house right now, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try later. Sounds
See
like
what
a great
you think.
snack. So now you know a little bit more about Halloween. At our academic centers, I have heard that they do some very exciting celebrating around Halloween.
Well, I think we have a guest to tell us more about that as well.
Whoa, Henry!
Oh,
Henry! Whoa. Henry! Slow down, Henry!
Hello,
Woo!
Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Woo! Well, we heard you were doing a Halloween show, so we had to come and visit.
Henry looks a little hungry.
Yes, well, you know.
Maybe we should have some candy corn for him.
I bet that would be something Henry would like.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me on today.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, I would love to talk about our academic centers and the different events that we have. Halloween is a favorite of everybody's. I sent some pictures to you just to kind of show you a couple things we've done.
Oh, look at that.
That is at our MacArthur Center. The students love dressing up at the academic centers. We have even had lunch carry-ins. We've done Walking Dead themes. You know, we've had walking tacos and Walking Dead themes. But this is one, and that's a professor, Gordon Briggs, and so he dressed up as the devil, which was appropriate to then get the witch, I guess. We always have good food. And so a lot of the students and the staff, we always like to have good food. It is just kind of a neat environment. It's a special day just to kind of the students can be in between of classes and snack. This is last year also at the MacArthur Center. That's Misty and Beth and Gordon again, and they were M&Ms, and then he was the Joker, I think. The students just really get involved. This is actually at our Jackson Center, and we decided we would invite the students and their families. And so that was kind of neat. It's neat that our students, because we have a lot of adult learners at our centers, and the students like to bring their families and say, you know, this is where I'm taking classes, and look where mom sits down and, you know, does some studies, and the children love it. And so it's really neat. This was a game that we created that the kids liked, and we tried to have prizes for that, but that was at the Jackson Center. This was at MacArthur. This was Misty dressing up as the future student. And so that was her. She didn't want her face shown, I guess, in that picture. So we like to have fun. This was one of our students.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't tell you exactly who it was because I'm really not sure. But one of our students really had fun dressing up. This year in MacArthur, this is our Meg Center. Actually, last Friday, we tried something different at Meg's, and we did an outdoor movie. And so we did Hocus Pocus. You can see that is actually a couple bed sheets on the side of the building. And our maintenance guy, Rick, and Tom worked hard to just kind of create a frame. The students brought lawn chairs, we had popcorn, we had waters and drinks, and we had several come with their kids and watch Hocus Pocus outside. So that was last Friday night.
You know, I love that movie.
It is really good. It's a good
movie.
movie. Yes, it is a good movie, and they enjoyed it. This year in Jackson, we will actually have, the students will dress up. And so there's going to be a contest. They're all talking about it. So the students are going to dress up. We're going to have chili, and we're going to do taco salad and that at the Jackson Center. And then in MacArthur, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to have the students dressing up and have like a contest there. I think it is this evening they're doing a trunk or treat. And just the community of Benton County. And so the MacArthur Center will have a little dress up there, so it is fun. And really, you know, having our centers where the students can get involved and they're all excited. They're all now thinking about homecoming and what can we do for homecoming at the centers and get involved. And so that, of course, is going to include dressing up too. So, yes.
Such a nice little guy. So tell me,
He's tame.
will the family members be invited this year as well?
This year we invited them to the Meg Center, and so we had the family in on that. In Jackson, we will have it during the day, so it'll be more of our students. We have a lot of CCP students, and so they're very excited because they would probably dress up at high school. And so now they can do that and get involved at the center too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
And what is a CCP student?
CCP is College Credit Plus.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of those students at our centers. You can start taking college classes in high school. You can start as young as 7th grade. And I don't know, you know, when you have our centers right in your area, in your community, some moms and dads feel a little bit better about them attending these small centers. You know, we're kind of watching, but not really, you know, but we are kind of watching all of our students. And so then whenever they're ready for junior and seniors, then they come to main campus and they finish a lot of times their classes. But it's a wonderful way for students to get ahead college classes done while they're still in high school. And so we have several that take advantage of that. So they're also the ones giving us the ideas of, Amanda, dress up. You know, are you going to dress up, Amanda? Okay, sure. You have to twist my arm.
You mean you don't?
I just don't wear
ride
this
this
all the
all
time.
the
Yeah,
time?
this is going to be my new transportation to the Jackson Center. Yes.
Well, if you could fly, you could get there.
Yeah,
quicker.
that's true. That's true.
I don't think that would work though, would it?
No.
I like the
But he
shoes.
went in this morning. I rode Henry into Florence Evans Hall, and so they wanted me to give him a shout out to Florence Evans Hall. Hello, everyone. I hope you're watching. And they all met Henry this morning. So
Look at his shoes; they're so stylish.
yeah,
I like it.
he's got his chucks
I like
on.
the red sneakers.
Of course, nothing but style.
And I really like what you're doing with involving the families and what you said about the kids getting to see where mom and dad are going
Yeah.
to school. What a wonderful way to instill an interest in lifelong learning.
Right, and you know, they see mom or dad doing homework. Okay, well, this is why I need to be doing my homework. You know, eventually I'm going to have to do that in college too. And so a lot of them do study time with their kids when they're trying to get their college classes done too. So yeah, it is nice. And they're proud of the centers. They really are. They're, you know, that's their college where they're going to school. And so, you know, bring your kids, spouse, you know, all of that. It makes it really nice. It does. Yes.
I know you have great programming at the centers, not only at Halloween, but all year through. I know at Easter, I think you did the Easter Bunny. And
We do. We usually have the Easter Bunny come to all the academic centers. Santa Claus has been there, and we've done cookies with Santa. I'm trying to think what else we've done. We've done several different things. In MacArthur, we had a big celebration because they celebrated their anniversary of being there 5 years. So we try and have bouncy houses and things like that because our students do have young kids. And so we try and gear the fun around what their students' kids can do. And so it makes it interesting. But yeah, we are excited.
so much more than learning occurs at the
Oh
academic
yes,
centers.
yes. But we do learn and we teach, and
Yes.
we're there usually from 8 in the morning till a lot of our classes go to 9:40, and so that makes us unique too at the academic centers. We do have a lot of evening classes too. So
I love the environment that you're creating. It's an entire learning environment that is, you know, there for all aspects of the students' lives.
yes, yes. Thank you, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming. I hope that you will visit
Okay.
us again with some
All
more
right.
pictures and,
Yes,
and
we
updates
will.
on the exciting things that you're
Yes,
doing.
we'll get pictures, of course, this Tuesday when we all dress up. So happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
See you,
Okay.
Henry.
Bye, Henry.
Woo!
Oh my, Henry's a little out of control.
Huh.
I hope that she doesn't have an accident on Henry.
I agree. You know, there's a lot of open space between here and Jackson Center, and there's probably a lot of places where Henry might want to stop and get something to eat.
I have a feeling you're right. Yeah, I'm glad it's not hunting season. I don't know if anybody would want to hunt Henry or not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Well, you know, we need to take a break for just a moment, and we'll be right back with Voice of Rio.
Welcome back to Voice of Rio Grande. I'm Dr. Donna Mitchell with my co-host Heather Duda, and we're doing a little Halloween special today. And we were able to learn about things happening at our academic center, and we have, I think, at least one more guest who will be joining us in a few minutes.
Yeah, and you know, you indulged me at the beginning of the episode with some Halloween trivia. Will you allow me 2 more questions?
I enjoy it, please.
These are more specific to what I actually study and do my scholarship on. So, do you have any idea why the horror genre is one of the most popular genres in pop culture?
No, and I really wish I did, because I have a daughter who just turned 21, and I don't get this Walking Dead at all.
Well, actually, a lot of scholarship has been done on why we like horror and scary stuff. And the general consensus is that we have this ingrained fight or flight instinct that comes back from when we were living not in homes and maybe had to fight against animals and other elements with very little. And over the centuries, the millennium, we don't really have that need anymore. So what a lot of scholarship says is that the scary stories that cultures love, whether they be oral stories that are told around the campfire or books or movies, that they've kind of taken place of that fight or flight reaction. And so so we sort of have these experiences as we're watching or observing or reading these texts or listening to them, and we can get all scared in the safety of our living rooms or the safety of our friends around a campfire, and then be safe. Nothing's actually going to get us. And the very first, here's a little fun fact. Do you have any idea what the very first American slasher film is?
No, I don't.
Well, there's some debate on this, so that might be a bit of a trick question. In 1960, both Peeping Tom and Psycho came out. Peeping Tom's a little less well known than Psycho, and I would consider those the first slasher films, but some people look at Tobe Hooper's 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh, yes.
followed just 4 years later with John Carpenter's Halloween as the first true slasher films. So there's a little Halloween trivia to get you thinking about some of the things that go bump in the night.
Now I know, and sometimes I have nightmares just from not even watching this Walking Dead, but hearing it, because I tend to go in the other room when it comes on.
It's a fun show. I enjoy it a lot. And you know what, at my house, I don't know about you, but I live out in the country a little bit. You know one of the things that go bump in the night around my house?
What?
Cows. Boy, when they're out, they like to moo a lot, and they're on the fields around me, and I just really don't understand what all they're mooing about.
I know, I have them at my house as well, and in fact, my little grandson will watch, and when they go to the barn, he says they're going to the cow house.
I like that. You know, I think our next guest might know a little bit more about cows.
I think so.
I want to thank you for inviting me on your show. Would you mind, sometimes if I sit it on it wrong, if you'll hold that, sometimes if I sit it wrong, it's very uncomfortable. Sometimes it makes me smile, if you know what I mean. There you go, my horns.
I've never seen a cow in glasses before, but it's a good look on you.
Oh, well, thank you. I've got to see where I'm going. I'm just kidding.
Get comfortable.
Yep.
You good?
You said you wanted a cowboy on your TV special, right?
Well, it's quite the interesting outfit, Patrick. Perhaps, though, today we can call you Cow Patty.
Or since you're a pretend cow, we could also call you Milk Dud.
I want you to know I went to a lot of trouble trying to find the right outfit.
Did you go to Cows R Us?
Very funny. As a matter of fact, I went to my wife, Wanda, and I said, Wanda, I would like to have an utterly spectacular costume. And Wanda said, I think I know what you need.
Well, I know Wanda, and I have to say, marriage is a relationship where one person is always right, and the other person is you.
Very funny. Wanda, as a matter of fact, went to on the internet, and when she saw it, she ordered it for me and said, Patrick, this is you.
Say, Cow Patty, do you know why a farmer's milking stool only has 3 legs?
No.
Because the cow has the udder.
Speaking of udders, these are interesting udders, and I often wondered why. When I got the costume and I put it on, and I was looking at these, Wanda said, you know, Patrick, these should be shown. This costume should be shown late at night and when there's no lights on. And I thought, what a sweetheart. You know, there's still hay left in the old loft, if you know what I mean.
So, before you go any farther, when you put the outfit on, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel really comfortable because, well, you know, cows are surrounded in leather.
I'm sure it wasn't an utter catastrophe.
Well, as a matter of fact, I went and I ordered a costume for Wanda because she liked it so much. You know, how she was just going on and on about how good I looked. You know, it made me look beautiful. You know, when I tried it on, she just, she was just beside herself.
Well, what'd she think about your 4 udders there?
Well, as a matter of fact, on those 4 udders, I thought they were rather interesting. I wondered why cows have 4 udders. Have you ever thought about that?
Not really.
Not really, but now that you say it, you know, farmers only have 2 hands.
Well, yeah, I know. At first I thought it was because the milking machines had 4 pumps. But I got to really thinking. One night when I woke up, I was wearing the cow outfit, and you know, I happened to notice the udders down here, and I said, you know, this is rather interesting. So what I did was I come to the conclusion that these udders were, well, you've been to the store, the grocery store, right? And you've seen different milk products. Well, I thought maybe this udder was for whole milk, this udder was for skim milk, this one for 2%, and of course, this one is my favorite, chocolate.
Chocolate milk, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
But I happened to notice something. You know, it's interesting, our special guest who was on an earlier show and some of the people, but especially Mike. When I was putting on the outfit, they kept on staring at my udders. And I don't know about you, but I would like to think I'm dignified and I'm intelligent. And they should be treating me with respect. And they should be looking at my face, not anywhere else.
I bet they couldn't because you have such a long face.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You know, sometimes you got to take the bull by the horns and not let it rib you so.
Well, that's very, very true. But, you know, I would appreciate if individuals would better treat me as the kind of bovine I should be.
Well, you know, you said that you got your wife a costume
Oh,
too?
yeah. She loved my costume so much, I thought, why don't I get her a duck outfit? And so I did.
Did you go to Ducks R Us for this one?
No.
Okay.
But I'll tell you one thing, the bill was terrible. But it so happened she really looked good in feathers. And she waddled around. I thought to myself, you know, she just quacks me up.
Okay.
And so I looked to Wanda and I said, you know, Wanda, let me get on my costume. And she has her duck. And why don't we go upstairs and do our usual before we fall asleep?
Now, wait a minute, Cow Patty. This is a family show.
No. We usually have a midnight snack.
Oh, okay.
And I understand. And so, you know what we had for a midnight snack?
What did you have?
Afraid to ask.
Milk and quackers. And sometimes we had cheese and quackers. But anyway, that's a different story.
It really sounds like you utterly got into the cow costume.
Yes, we did. And there's Mr. Mouse.
You just never know who's going to stop by.
I'm so happy he visited with us. I thought
yes.
cows were afraid of mice.
Well, now that you mentioned it, red mice especially.
Maybe he won't come back.
Well, let's hope not.
Or maybe he will.
You know, one thing, I'm going to be quite frank with you. You know, I've been wearing this outfit at night. You know, I would go out and mow the grass and stuff, and
I bet that was interesting.
well, yeah, but I noticed the udders and the bulbous area sort of bounces around, and I'll tell you, it really gets bad on your back. And I was thinking to myself, you know, there has to be some kind of supportive system that would help keep things in check, if you know what I mean. And so I went on an internet site,
Let me guess. You went to Fun and Other Cow Things?
See, Mike, I told you other people go there. So yes, I went to Fun and Other Cow Things, and I found a bovine resupportive accessory.
You mean a bra?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, BRA. Well, anyway, I got a picture. I got a picture of the device that's on order. Oh, there it is. What do you think?
It's quite stylish.
I think so. I think that'll do the trick.
You're really taking the bull by the horns and learning.
I know. As a matter of fact, I really wanted to get into the mood. You know John Grimes. John has his, he's a commercial beef farmer, and he has a show. And I'll be quite frank with you with John. I went to John and I said, John, make me a cow.
I bet he said you need to be out to pasture.
No, you won't find me out in pasture because, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff you can step in, and I want to keep my hooves clean. But anyway, I went to John and I said, John, and I could see he was really emotionally charged up because I could see a tear in his eye, and he was just looking at me. He was probably thinking of all the different things that I could get involved with. And I said, John, help me. And so John had a friend who had milking cows. And he said, you know, Pat, the best way I can help you do is to go with this farmer who suggested I sleep late at night in a barn. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I wanted to do that.
Were you afraid the other cows wouldn't accept you?
No. They probably get really noisy. And you're probably wondering why. And I'm going, well, it's because of all the horns and the bells.
Oh, of course.
But anyway, they convinced me that I needed to be in the barn. So I spent the night at the barn. But you know what? There's an interesting thing about the barns. Cows talk amongst themselves. Did you know this?
No,
I didn't know that.
And what they do is they have names for the cows. Now this I did not know. Like for instance, there was a cow with real short legs. You know what they called her?
Ground beef?
They had one that plays bagpipes. Do you know what they called her?
Haggis steak.
How about the nervous cow, the one that was really...
Beef jerky?
Yes. And how about the real thin cow?
Lean beef.
Okay. Now there was a pig over in the corner, and this pig...
Wait a minute, Patrick. Are you meaning to tell me that you sleep in that costume?
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on with your pig story.
I mean, yes. The reason I wore that is because, well, let's face it, my lion suit, my lion's costume was in the wash.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think you were telling us about the pig.
Yeah, this pig, you wouldn't believe about this pig. It would, every hour or so, go outside the barn and have his cigarettes with him.
I bet I know what that's called.
Smoked ham.
Yeah, well, boy, you are really good with the names. Have either of you slept in a barn? No? Well, anyway, I want you to know that I had a comfortable night, and I'll be quite frank with you. The next morning, this farmer came in, and he looked at me and he said, "Well, how'd you sleep?" And I said, "Oh, pretty good, but that pig that would go out for a cigarette only had 3 legs." And I said, "You know, that's the strangest thing I've ever seen, that pig with 3 legs." And that farmer said, "Well, I want you to know, I really love that cow. My wife loves that cow."
I thought it was a pig.
Or a pig. Pig or cow, you know, I'm sorry. Everything that looks piggish to me is really a cow. So, I said to the farmer, I said, well, how did he lose his leg? And he said, well, let me tell you about that pig. That pig sensed danger. Where our house, part of our house caught on fire, and so that pig sensed the danger, ran out of the barn, crashed into up to the porch, crashed through the door, saved my wife and I
What a pig.
before the ceiling would fall down.
Wow.
So I said, oh, so that's how it lost its leg. He said, no. When you have as much love as I have for that pig, I'm not going to eat them all at once.
I think we have run out of time.
Thank you, Cow Patty, for coming today.
Well, as my psychiatrist said, I must be off.
Yeah, maybe you should just move on.
I
Yeah.
think the cafeteria might be low on milk.
Maybe you could help them out.
Well, I really want to thank you for letting me be on your show, and I'm, as you said, going to move on.
And by the way, as you leave, do you know how to keep a bull from charging?
No?
Take away its credit cards.
Another good point. You two are great.
Goodbye, Cow Patty.
Goodbye.
Thanks
It
for
was
visiting.
great visiting with you. Oh, Heather, I don't know about you, but we've seen a lot of different characters today.
We have. It must be something about that time of year.
It must be. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of Voice of Rio Grande, and we'll see you again next month, and perhaps it'll be a little more quiet here, and we'll feel more like ourselves.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.